While his girlfriend boarded her flight to Arizona smiling and promising photos, he had already sent the email. 25 pages. Time-stamped, every detail documented. She had no idea that the man who drove her to the airport had already lit the fuse.
She lied to go to her ex's wedding, so I destroyed everything with 25 pages. I'm 29, 8 years in restaurant management. Started waiting tables straight out of high school, no degree, no connections, nothing handed to me. I climbed on my own. Today I make $85,000 a year. My truck is paid off. I'm saving for a down payment on a house. I'm not the type who loses his head. I'm the type who documents everything. Amber came into my life like one of those things that seems too good to be true because it was. 25 years old, blonde hair, always professionally blown out, body maintained by a gym membership I paid for. The kind of woman who makes other women feel invisible just by walking into a room. My friends would ask me seriously how I pulled it off. I'd laugh and pretend I didn't know. She worked part-time at a boutique downtown, around 20 hours a week when she felt like showing up. 8 months before we met, she'd walked out of her last roommate's apartment without paying months of utilities. The roommate was a nursing student. I filed that detail away and ignored it. The bills came to me naturally over time. Forgot her wallet at dinner. Car needed new tires, transmission, brakes, always something. The emergency credit card I gave her was meant for real situations, car repairs, medical stuff. In 8 months, she had quietly turned it into a lifestyle subsidy, but the relationship was passionate. She'd post pictures holding onto my arm like I was somebody famous. Captions saying she was the lucky one. I believed it.
When someone uses you publicly as a trophy, but keeps you away from certain rooms, pay attention to that contrast. The trophy serves one purpose, the secret serves another.
It was a Wednesday night in October. Buffalo Wild Wings, Broncos on the screen, her picking at a salad without looking up from her phone. I'm going to be gone for a week in November. My college friend Rebecca is getting married in Phoenix. Desert wedding, very upscale. She asked me to be in the bridal party. I asked if she wanted me to come along. She laughed. Not a quiet laugh, the kind of laugh you give when someone suggests something absurd. Jack babe, it's going to be all girls talking about flowers and wedding drama. Plus Rebecca's family is super exclusive, immediate family, and the bridal party only. Trust me, you'd be absolutely miserable. It stung a little. I'm not some caveman who can't handle a wedding, but the Broncos were winning for once, so I let it go. Resort in Sedona, $500 a night. The groom was in tech, stupidly rich, her words. That detail hung in the air. Amber normally loved showing me off at fancy events. The more expensive the party, the harder she'd pull me toward the center of it, but this time she seemed almost relieved I couldn't go. I should have paid more attention to that feeling. Over the following weeks, she shifted into a mode I'd never seen before. Shopping trips every few days, Nordstrom, boutiques I'd never heard of, dresses, shoes, jewelry, makeup, hair appointments, nail appointments, massages at a luxury spa. Every time I asked how much she was spending, she'd give that little dismissive laugh. Don't worry about that, babe. I've been saving for months. Rebecca's wedding is going to be the event of the year. I need to look perfect. I managed our finances. I knew exactly how much she had, which was basically nothing. Her boutique checks barely covered her car payment and phone bill. Then one afternoon she was trying on dresses for the third time that week. Red fitted, low cut. The kind of thing you don't wear to someone else's wedding unless you're trying to steal the attention. You think this is too much? I know red is Richard's favorite color, but I don't want to outshine Rebecca on her big day. I stopped. How do you know the groom's favorite color? She blinked. Half a second. Fast enough that most people wouldn't catch it. Rebecca mentioned it. You know how brides get talks about everything her husband likes. Reasonable enough. I let it go again. Later that same day, she was in the bedroom on the phone. I was in the kitchen making dinner. Her voice came through the half-open door clearly. I can't wait to see you, Dylan. It's been so long. I've missed you so much. Dylan? That wasn't the tone of someone talking to a friend's future brother-in-law. That was the tone of someone talking to a person who still occupied space inside her. When she came back to the kitchen, I kept my voice casual. Who's Dylan? Richard's brother. He's flying in from Seattle for the wedding. Rebecca wanted me to coordinate some logistics with him for the bachelor party. I know the Phoenix area pretty well. Quick, smooth, no hesitation. But it didn't add up. Why would a bridesmaid be coordinating logistics with the groom's brother? And why did it sound that personal, that intimate?
The lie was good. The problem was, she needed a second lie to hold up first. When someone starts building scaffolding on top of scaffolding, the structure is already showing cracks.
2 days later, she was on her laptop at the kitchen table. I was unloading the dishwasher, back turned toward her, but I could see the screen's reflection in the window glass. Flight confirmation. Phoenix, thought you said you were flying Wednesday. Oh yeah, I moved it to Tuesday. Rebecca needs more help with last-minute prep than she thought. She closed the laptop fast. Too fast. But I'd already seen it. Thursday to Monday. 5 days. Not 3, not 4, 5, and definitely not Tuesday. I didn't say anything. I went back to putting away the dishes. If you've ever suspected something but stayed quiet, waiting for the right moment, drop it in the comments. Because that's exactly what I did. The third thing is what locked everything in. She was in the shower. Left her phone on the nightstand because she was expecting a call about a delivery. It buzzed. Without really thinking, I glanced over. Dylan Hotel confirmed. Room 4012, right next to mine. Jessica thinks you're staying with the other bridesmaids. I stood there, room next to his, with a winking emoji, while his fiancée thought she was was bunking with the girls. I picked up the phone and scrolled back through the thread. Dylan Morrison, Amber's college ex, the name she used to murmur in her sleep during our first few months together, smiling at nothing. The one who broke her heart when he moved to Seattle for a tech job right after graduation. He wasn't marrying Rebecca, he was marrying Jessica Chen. 4 months of messages. I read every single one. It started innocent. He'd found her on Facebook Messenger, saw through mutual friends that she was in Denver now, said they should catch up. Typical ex resurfacing, but it escalated fast. Much faster than two people who were just catching up. Dylan, getting married in November. Wild, right? Never saw myself as the settling down type. Amber, congratulations. She's a lucky girl. Send me a photo of the ring. Dylan, thanks. It's complicated, honestly. My parents love Jessica. She's perfect on paper. Amber, what do you mean? Dylan, you know what I mean. She checks every box. Good family, good career. She fits perfectly into our world. But sometimes I wonder, do you remember that weekend at your parents' cabin senior year before I left? My stomach turned. I kept reading. He was marrying for money and status. Jessica was his family's choice, not his. And Amber was right there feeding every doubt, telling him she'd never found anyone who understood her the way he did, while I was paying her rent. The most recent message was from 3 weeks ago. Dylan, I have an idea that might sound crazy. The wedding is at Sedona Grand Resort, you know, that place we always said we'd visit together someday. What if you came? Not as a guest, obviously I could book you a room. Tell Jessica you're part of the vendor team or something. Amber, Dylan, that's insane. I can't just show up at your wedding. Dylan, it's not showing up if I'm inviting you. Besides, maybe seeing you there gives me the courage to do what I should have done months ago. Amber, what do you mean? Dylan, maybe I don't go through with it. Maybe it's not too late for us.
He wasn't in love with Amber. He was using her as an emotional pressure valve, a way to process cold feet before signing a life contract he didn't want. She accepted the role because she needed their story to have a different ending. Two people using each other to escape two completely different things.
I took screenshots of everything, sent them to my personal email, put her phone back exactly where it was, lay down next to her that night, stared at the ceiling. The next morning while she was at the boutique, which I was now fairly confident was code for shopping on my card, I opened her laptop. 4 months of full history, all there. Then I found the wedding website. Dylan Morrison and Jessica Chen. November 9th, Sedona Grand Resort. Jessica's social media was all public countdown posts. Genuine excitement. Photos of the two of them smiling. She had absolutely no idea. I spent the next week telling Amber I had to work late every night, a major renovation project at our main location. Contractors to supervise. She barely looked up from her phone when I told her. I drove to a 2 or 4 hour diner and built the most thorough document I'd ever produced in my life. 25 pages. Full timeline with timestamps. Screenshots from her phone. Transcripts from my conversations with Dylan because I'd created a fake Instagram profile, used a random good-looking guy's photos, started following him, commented on wedding posts, then sent a DM. Congrats on the upcoming wedding. I'll actually be in Sedona that weekend for work. Any restaurant recommendations? He responded immediately. Rich guy who loves giving advice. A few days building rapport. Then, casually, my ex used to stress out about weddings she wasn't even involved in. Women really take this stuff seriously, huh? Tell me about it. I've actually got some drama with an ex right now. She's supposed to come to the wedding and I'm starting to wonder if it was a mistake. Perfect. For days I played the understanding buddy while he unloaded everything. Doubts about Jessica. How Amber was the one that got away. How he was thinking about calling the whole thing off. I documented every admission, every detail, every plan. Then I tracked down Jessica Chen's work email, pediatric nurse at a children's hospital in Phoenix, constantly posting about her job, charity events, patient photos. I spent hours writing the right email. Professional tone, concerned, not accusatory, enough detail to be credible. Subject, important information about your wedding, Miss Chen. I don't know you personally, but I have information about your fiancé that I believe you need to see before your wedding. I'm sending this to your work email because I wasn't sure how to reach you safely and felt this was too important to risk going to spam. I'm not trying to hurt you or interfere for malicious reasons. I'm someone who recently discovered that my own relationship was built on lies, and I wouldn't want anyone else to go through what I'm going through. Please see the attached documentation. 25-page PDF. Every conversation, every lie Amber told me, every hotel booking, every charge on my credit card, including the Brazilian wax that costs more than most people spend on groceries in a week, and the lingerie purchases. She was literally using my money to fund her plan to walk out of my life. This is the part where everything shifts, and she still had no idea I'd already sent it. The night before her flight, she made an elaborate dinner, the most domestic effort she put into anything in months. What followed was the best night between us since the beginning of the relationship, attentive, enthusiastic, almost desperate in a way that might have felt flattering. It just felt calculated. The next morning I drove her to the airport like the supportive boyfriend I was pretending to be. She talked the whole way about how excited she was to see the girls, kissed me goodbye at security, said she loved me, promised to send lots of photos. The moment my flight tracker confirmed her plane was in the air, I sent the email to Jessica. Then I went home and waited for the fireworks.
He didn't react. He planned. There's a massive difference between the two. Reacting gives power to the person who wronged you. Planning takes it back.
6 hours later, right around when Amber would be checking into the hotel, getting ready for her reunion with Dylan, my phone started going off. Not Amber. Morgan, her friend, one of the few people who actually knew where she was. Jack, what the hell did you do? I played dumb. What are you talking about, Morgan? Amber just called me crying hysterically, something about the wedding being called off at the last minute and everyone blaming her. She said you must have done something that somebody sent Jessica information about her and Dylan. She said, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's at Rebecca's wedding in Phoenix, her college friend. Long pause. Oh, wow. She told you about Rebecca? Why wouldn't she? It's her friend's wedding. I helped her pick a dress. Morgan hung up without another word. 20 minutes later, Amber called. I let it go to voicemail. Jack, I know this looks bad, but I can explain everything. There's been a huge misunderstanding. Someone sent Jessica information that was taken completely out of context, and now she's losing her mind. Please call me back. Second voicemail. 10 minutes later. Something terrible happened. I think someone sent Jessica fake screenshots or manipulated messages or something. The wedding's been called off and everyone is going crazy. Dylan's family is furious. Jessica's family is demanding answers. And somehow everyone thinks it's my fault. I need you to call me right now. Third voicemail. Jack, I'm serious. I'm stuck in Arizona with no way to get home. My flight isn't until Sunday and I don't have money for a hotel tonight because Dylan was supposed to please call me back. This is an emergency. Fourth voicemail. Now she was angry. Jack, answer your damn phone. This is a real emergency and I need your help. Around 10 that night, I texted her, hey babe, how's Rebecca's wedding? Having fun with the girls. Sorry, got buried in work all day. She called immediately. I answered on the first ring. Cut it out, Jack. You know exactly where I am and what happened in Phoenix. At Rebecca's wedding. Everything okay? You sound upset. Stop. You sent something to Jessica and now everything is completely destroyed. Who's Jessica? I thought your friend's name was Rebecca. Silence. Dead silence. She was cornered and she knew it. Fine, she said finally, her voice shaking with a mix of rage and panic. It's not Rebecca's wedding, it's Dylan's wedding, but it's not what you think. Dylan, your ex-Dylan, the one you used to say in your sleep when we first started dating. How did you know that? Doesn't matter. Dylan and who? Dylan and Jessica? But she was his fiancée. She called off the wedding this morning after someone sent her fake messages making it look like Dylan and I had some kind of affair. Did you? No, we were just talking. Nothing physical happened, I swear. So you lied to your boyfriend about which wedding you were going to. Used my credit card to buy thousands of dollars in sexy clothes and say treatments. Got a hotel room right next to your ex's room while he lied to his fiancée about it, but nothing inappropriate was going to happen. Long pause. How do you know about the hotel room? Lucky guess. So you were planning to sleep with him. She started crying then. That combination of fury and panic. You destroyed everything. Dylan's family is absolutely furious with him. Jessica's family is demanding refunds for the reception. There are 200 guests here from all over the country with nowhere to go and nothing to do. Do you have any idea what you've done? Sounds like a Dylan and Jessica problem, not mine. It is my problem because everyone thinks I'm some kind of homewrecker. People are staring at me, whispering about me. Jessica's bridesmaids corner me in the lobby and call me terrible things. Maybe because you are one. We didn't sleep together, we didn't even kiss. Only because the wedding got called off before you had the chance. She hung up again. I grabbed a soda from the fridge and turned on the night game. The next 3 days were pure entertainment. Friday morning, Dylan himself called me. Amber had given him my number in a moment of desperation. Jack, I think we need to talk. Man to man, I actually laughed. About what, Dylan? About what you did to my wedding? About the lies you sent to Jessica? What I did? Man, I didn't force you to emotionally cheat on your fiancé with my girlfriend for 4 months. Look, Amber and I are just friends. We have history screenshots are pretty hard to take out of context, Dylan. Especially when there are dozens of them spanning months. Especially the parts where you say you're only marrying Jessica for her family's money, and that Amber is your one true love, the one that got away. Really moving stuff. Silence. Those were private conversations between friends. So was my relationship with Amber. Didn't stop you from trying to take her. I let him ramble for another few minutes, complicated situation. Never wanted anyone to get hurt, just cold feet and nerves, then I hung up. Sunday morning, my phone rang with an unknown Phoenix number. Jack, this is Jessica. Dylan's ex-fiancée, I guess. I hadn't expected to hear from her directly. Jessica, I'm so sorry about all of this. Don't apologize. You did absolutely the right thing. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. I just wanted to call and thank you personally. She told me Dylan had been paying for Amber's entire trip, flight, hotel, meals, over $3,000 of their wedding money. He told her Amber was part of the vendor team. When she found the receipts after reading what I sent, she saw every charge. Then she told me Amber had come to her personally, begged Jessica to take Dylan back, said she'd disappear forever if Jessica just went ahead with the wedding like nothing happened. And when Jessica refused, Amber offered to split the wedding gifts if she helped get Dylan back. She tried to bribe the wronged fiancé into helping steal her own groom. Even by Amber's standards, that was a new low. Sunday night, Amber finally got through to me. She was crying so hard I could barely make out the words. Jack, please, I'm begging you. I'm so sorry. I messed up everything and I desperately need your help. What kind of help? I'm at the airport, but my flight got canceled due to weather delays. The next available one isn't until Wednesday. I don't have money for a hotel. I've been sleeping on airport benches for 2 days and security keeps making me move. That sounds really hard. Please, Jack, I'll do anything. I'll pay back every cent I spent on this trip. I'll get a real full-time job. I'll sign a contract agreeing to pay half the rent and utilities from now on. Whatever you want. Where's Dylan? His parents cut all his cards and froze his accounts. He's completely broke. And he's not talking to me anyway. He blames me for ruining his life, as if any of this is my fault. The irony was absolutely perfect. I let her keep going. She promised everything. Full-time employment. Paying her fair share of every expense. Cutting off Dylan for good. Couples therapy. She even offered to hand over access to all her social media accounts accounts to prove she was serious. When she'd exhausted her promises, I said, "Amber, I'll help you get home under one condition. Anything, absolutely anything. Post the truth on your Instagram. The full real story, how you lied to your boyfriend about which wedding you were going to, how you used my money to fund a trip to get with your ex, and how you tried to blow up his wedding to take him from his fiancée." "I can't do that, Jack, please. People will think I'm a terrible person. I'll lose all my friends. I'll lose my job. I'll lose everything. You are a terrible person, Amber, and you already lost everything that matters." Monday morning, my phone buzzed with an Instagram notification. I need to be completely honest about something I've done. I lied to my boyfriend about where I was going this weekend. I told him I was going to a college friend's wedding, but I actually flew to my ex's wedding in Arizona with the intention of reconnecting with him. I used money that wasn't mine to buy clothes and cover expenses for this trip. I made terrible decisions that hurt people who didn't deserve it. The wedding was called off because the bride found out about my plans, and now I'm stuck here with no way to get home. It wasn't the full detailed confession I wanted, but it was enough. Her comment section exploded immediately. Friends stunned, family disappointed. Her own mother commented, "Aberlyn Morrison, call me right now." The post got screenshotted and shared through her social circles like wildfire. Her reputation was in ruins. I transferred her $2,000 stay power, cheap motel, and an Uber to the airport, not out of sympathy. I wanted her back in Denver so I could end this properly and permanently. When she landed Wednesday night, she took an Uber straight to my apartment. Unwashed hair, same clothes from 5 days ago, eyes swollen from days of crying. I opened the door. 2 boxes sat behind me, packed with her things. "What does this mean?" "We're done, Amber. Completely done. You need to find somewhere else to live." "But I thought you helped me get home." "I helped you get home so you could pick up your things and leave my life permanently." She started crying again, that desperate, broken kind of sob that might have moved me a few days earlier. "Please, Jack, I made a mistake. I learned my lesson. It'll never happen again." "You're right, it won't, because you'll never get another chance to lie to me." I closed the door and locked it. She knocked for about 15 minutes, cycling between pleading and furious threats. Then, she left. 3 weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that she'd moved back in with her parents in Colorado Springs. She lost her boutique job for being absent over a week without calling in. Dylan moved back to Seattle and took a position at his uncle's company to escape the fallout with his family. No way back, no response.